It started on a busy Monday morning in our quiet suburban home. I, Robert Thompson, was reviewing wedding invitations for my son's upcoming ceremony. Everything seemed perfect until I noticed the fine print regarding payments. I realized with growing alarm that the family intended to make me cover a substantial portion of the expenses. Shock and disbelief coursed through me. I called my son, Michael, immediately. He sounded distracted and nervous. I asked him directly, "Are you seriously planning to put me in charge of the bills?" Michael hesitated, then mumbled, "I thought you'd want to help." I felt anger rise, but I kept my voice calm. This wasn't just about money, it was about respect and fairness. I decided to investigate quietly before confronting anyone. I reviewed contracts with the caterers, venue, and florist. Everything pointed to my financial responsibility, as if I had already agreed. I confronted my daughter-in-law-to-be, Sarah, gently asking for clarification. She avoided my gaze and gave vague answers. The betrayal stung, a mix of family pressure and manipulation. I realized the situation required careful planning. I didn't want to create a scene, but I needed to protect myself. I called my close friend, David, for advice. David suggested documenting everything before taking action. I agreed, knowing a measured response was essential. Throughout the week, I quietly assessed all arrangements. Every call, every email, every plan became a piece of evidence. I decided to approach Michael and Sarah together. We sat down in the living room, tension thick in the air. I calmly explained that I was aware of their plan to burden me financially. They tried to downplay it, claiming it was just a misunderstanding. I stayed firm, refusing to be manipulated or intimidated. I suggested we find a fair solution that didn't place all responsibility on me. They resisted at first, but the documentation I had gathered was undeniable. I proposed splitting costs evenly, emphasizing that weddings should unite, not divide. Michael and Sarah reluctantly agreed. Relief washed over me, knowing the issue had been addressed without resentment. I spent the next few days assisting with preparations within reason. I focused on meaningful contributions rather than financial strain. The week passed with quiet coordination, tension replaced by purpose. Guests arrived, unaware of the earlier drama. The wedding day dawned bright and clear, full of joy and anticipation. I watched Michael and Sarah exchange vows with pride swelling in my chest. Despite the week's challenges, love and commitment remained the focus. During the reception, I gave a speech highlighting family unity and support. Everyone applauded, unaware of the struggle that had preceded the day. I felt a mixture of relief and quiet satisfaction. Later, Michael approached me, apologizing for the misunderstanding. He admitted he hadn't realized how much pressure it would place on me. I forgave him silently, knowing this was part of growing and learning. Sarah also approached, expressing gratitude for my patience and understanding. The emotional weight lifted, replaced by genuine connection. I realized that standing firm with dignity had preserved both respect and relationships. By the end of the day, the wedding was a success, financially balanced and full of joy. I felt proud of my calm, measured response to potential betrayal. The families celebrated together, laughter echoing through the hall. I reflected on the week, realizing how easily misunderstandings can escalate. But careful planning, clear communication, and patience had prevented disaster. I understood the importance of boundaries in family dynamics. Love and support must be balanced with respect and fairness. The day concluded with heartfelt hugs and congratulations. I sat quietly, taking in the happiness around me. Even after conflict, the heart can find peace and gratitude. I had protected my finances, my dignity, and my emotional well-being. Michael and Sarah's marriage began with lessons learned and respect established. I felt hopeful for their future and proud of my own strength. The week had tested patience, resilience, and family bonds. I realized that calm assertiveness is often more powerful than confrontation. By staying composed, I had turned potential conflict into a memorable and joyful celebration. The wedding ended with music, laughter, and tears of happiness. I, Robert Thompson, had navigated betrayal and preserved love in the family. And as I watched my son and his new wife dance, I felt an emotional pride that words could not capture.